They sat in a folder marked classified. 5 photographs, each one showing something that, according to every expert who examined them, should not exist. And yet, there they were, captured on film, burned into silver halide, impossible to dismiss, impossible to explain. Tonight we open the folder. Photograph number 1 was taken in November of 1928. A newsreel cameraman was filming the premiere of Charlie Chaplin's film The Circus outside the theater in Los Angeles. The footage was unremarkable. Crowds, cars, fur coats, until, decades later, a filmmaker named George Clark slowed it down, frame by frame, and he saw her, a woman, walking along the edge of the scene, holding a small black object to her ear, speaking into it, smiling. In 1928, 45 years before the first mobile phone call was ever made, skeptics offered explanations. A hearing aid, perhaps, an early Siemens device small enough to be held against the cheek. But hearing aids of that era did not allow for two-way conversation. They did not make the user smile, laugh, and pause as if listening to someone else. Whoever she was talking to, she took the answer with her into the 20th century. And the film, still sitting in an archive, has never been explained. Photograph number 2 was taken on a summer afternoon in 1964. A firefighter named Jim Templeton was photographing his 5-year-old daughter in a field near the Solway Firth in Cumbria, England. It was a quiet day. The cows were peaceful. No one else was in the field. Templeton took 3 photographs and sent them to Kodak for developing. When the prints came back, one of them showed something behind his daughter that had not been there when he pressed the shutter. A figure in what appeared to be a white spacesuit, standing directly behind the child. Templeton swore, until the day he died, that he had seen no one. Kodak themselves examined the negatives and declared them untampered. Even stranger, within days of the photograph being published, Templeton claimed to have been visited by 2 men in dark suits who arrived in a black Jaguar, asked peculiar questions, and left without identifying themselves. 4 days after the photograph was taken, a rocket launch at the Woomera test range in Australia was aborted. The flight director later stated, on record, that 2 figures in white spacesuits had appeared on the launch pad. Figures that matched the photograph exactly. Photograph number 3 comes from a valley in central Norway, Hessdalen. For reasons that no scientist has ever fully explained, unidentified lights appear there. Not occasionally, not rarely, almost every week. They drift silently above the forest, pulse, split into pieces, hover and vanish. They have been photographed thousands of times. They have been recorded on radar. They have been measured with magnetometers, spectrometers, and gravitational sensors. The physical readings are real. The lights are real. and yet no one knows what they are. In 1984, the Norwegian government funded an official research project to study the phenomenon. Project Hessdalen collected years of data. The lights ignore the rules. They accelerate at speeds that would crush any living pilot. They emit no heat at short distances. They change color based on no known chemistry. And they have been there, quietly, for as long as anyone can remember. The locals treat them as weather. Scientists treat them as a mystery they cannot publish. And the valley remains, waiting, glowing. Photograph number 4 was taken on November 22nd, 1963, Dealey Plaza, Dallas, Texas, the day President John F. Kennedy was assassinated. Every person on that grass, on that street, on that grassy knoll has been identified, interviewed, investigated, photographed, and accounted for, except one, a woman in a brown coat with a headscarf tied beneath her chin, holding what appears to be a small camera to her face. She is visible in dozens of photographs and in the Zapruder film itself. She stood directly across from the presidential limousine during the shooting. She filmed the entire event, and then she walked away. The FBI placed an advertisement asking her to come forward. No one ever did. Every other witness on the plaza, no matter how minor, was eventually identified. She was not. A woman named Beverly Oliver later claimed to be her, but her account did not match the footage. The film, whatever the Babushka lady captured, has never been recovered. Her real identity has never been confirmed. And the single clearest view of the assassination of an American president, taken from a range of 30 feet, has simply disappeared. Photograph number 5 was taken in December of 1964 off the coast of Hook Island, Queensland, Australia. A man named Robert Leserec was anchored in the shallows when his wife pointed to the water beneath the boat. There, on the sandy seafloor, stretched a creature roughly 25 meters long, serpentine, black, utterly still. It resembled no fish, no shark, and no eel known to science. It had a visible wound along one side, and its open mouth, when the boat passed above it, revealed rows of inward pointing teeth. Leserec photographed it. He filmed it. The creature did not move for the duration of the encounter. At one point, it opened its eyes and appeared to look directly at the camera. Then the boat retreated. When divers later returned to the same spot, the creature was gone. Marine biologists examined the photographs and could not identify the species. The skeptics claimed it was a long sheet of plastic shaped by the current. The believers called it the Hook Island sea monster. The photograph is still considered by every serious cryptozoologist alive today the single most unexplained image ever taken of a creature in water. 5 photographs, 5 impossibilities. A woman speaking into a device that did not exist. A figure in a spacesuit on an English field. lights that ignore physics in a Norwegian valley, a witness who filmed the death of a president and then disappeared, a creature on the seafloor that matches nothing alive or extinct. They are real photographs. They are in archives. They have been examined by experts, and not one of them has ever been fully explained. The folder goes back on the shelf. The light in the room is turned off. And somewhere, out there, the people who took these photographs, or what they saw, are still out there too, waiting for someone else to open the folder and begin, once again, to look.